Episode 9. Do the Opposite. Serena felt enchanted, but then came back to herself. She straightened her back and pushed Jake away. Touching his impeccable skin and muscles, she suddenly blushed. This man, such a tease. He not only had a gorgeous face, but also had the bronzed skin many people would kill for, and a body that... She suddenly remembered his significant erection and wiggled involuntarily. Shaking her head hard, she tried to get rid of her unholy thought. Quickly moving her eyes away and looking up, she saw his dark pupils. For some reason, Serena explained, "I still have a gift to give. You keep going." However, when Serena was about to run, her arms were caught. "Keep going?" Jake's voice was deep and mellow, like a cup of well-made hot coffee, rich in flavor. Serena was caught off guard and pushed against the wall. Her beautiful eyes were opened wide. Serena looked at the man in front of her, full of surprise. "You asked me to keep going? Did you know what I wanted to do?" His voice was so intoxicating that Serena's heart raced. People say that rising intonation was the sexiest in a man. She did not know about other women, but she was so nervous. Looking at Jake's dark pupils, Serena swallowed and said timidly, "Weren't you trying to change?" He needs to cover his sexy body up first. Luckily, Serena had a soul 5 years older than her appearance. If it were before, she would have drooled all over him. "I was trying to." But now he did not want to do that. With an undetectable, dangerous look on his face, Jake curled his lips into a smile. "You want to leave?" Holding back her desire to touch him, Serena nodded quickly, took his hands away and said, "I'm going to give the gift to Mother." She then pushed him away and quickly ran out, not daring to stay any longer. She also conveniently shut the door. Jake looked at the door and then squinted at a mirror close to him. The man in the mirror was handsome and fit. If it were the Serena that she used to be, the moment he leaned her against the wall, she would have directly jumped him and announced, "We are husband and wife, and I shall perform my duty." But now, was she pretending it? It looked a bit too real, though. However, could this be who she really was? How come she had such a huge change over the night? He turned his attention back to his closet. He only needed to test her. Serena had no idea that he already had suspicions. Full of hope, she retrieved the gift. When she appeared in the hall again, everyone was looking at her. Trying to make it seem natural, Serena walked out with her best posture. Mrs. Robinson looked at Serena with an investigative and pleased look. She was glad that this daughter-in-law did not shame herself in front of her grandpa. "Grandpa? Mother?" Serena called and placed a large box on the table and then a smaller box in front of Captain Henrik. "Grandpa, my uncle asked me to bring this to you. We wish you longevity and good fortune." Captain Henrik did not react much. He smiled kindly and said, "You prepared a gift for me as well. Thank your uncle for me." The elderly shall always be respected, so the order of presenting gifts should be from Grandpa to her mother-in-law. Serena saw his smile and had an unknowing look in her eyes. This pen did not come from her uncle, but herself. Previously, when she was shopping with Lila, she really liked the look of the pen, so Lila urged her to buy it. She spent more than $100 on it, but never used it. However, later on, Lila used it to criticize her extravagance, which turned many heads. Now, she was going to present this pen and lie in front of Lila's face, based on what she knew about Lila. Ah. Lila looked surprised and said, "Isn't this the pen that I accompanied you to buy when I came back? How come it becomes your uncle's?" Indeed. Someone like Lila would never let this go. However, this was exactly what Serena wanted. Serena pretended to blush and stutter. Seeing that, Lila immediately kindly spoke. "Maybe I remembered it wrong. It should just be a similar-looking package, and should not be the one you paid more than $100 for on a whim, right?" "More than $100. On a whim?" Hearing the words, both Mrs. Robinson and Captain Henrik frowned a little. Serena immediately shook her head. "On a whim? No, I picked it out carefully." Immediately, she covered her mouth, looking regretted. Lila heard that and blamed Serena. "Serena, why do you—" Although Lila stopped there, she left even more space for imagination. Serena had to admit that this trick worked. However, that was what Serena was going for. Serena looked nervous and whispered, Mr. Henrik looked at Serena deeply, starting to unwrap the package. An all-black pen, cold and heavy upon the touch. Diamonds were decorated on the body and tip of the pen, making it look effortlessly elegant. Captain Henrik smiled happily and said, "Good eye. You picked this?" Serena nodded, blushing. She said, "This design looks simple, but has a lot of thought in it. It is so low-key that I think it suits Grandpa very much, which is why She was kissing ass without looking obvious, making Captain Henrik smile even more. "You're just giving a gift? Why did you use your uncle's name? Lying in front of so many people? You bring disgrace to the Robinson household." Mrs. Cox looked at Serena with contempt. "Because I know that Grandpa is frugal. If he knew that I spent so much money on the pen, he would be displeased. That is why I mentioned my uncle, who would not know anyway." Serena put out her tongue and looked at Captain Henrik timidly. "Grandpa, you're not mad, are you?" "Oh, my sunshine," Captain Henrik said. "I have so many people who take other people's achievements as their own, and you would rather do the opposite.